Hello, everybody. I am here. My middle name is Rush. Gigi Rush around. What, baby? You're supposed to go get your phone, watch your cartoon, and let me do this right quick, okay? David, give her the phone, let her watch your cartoon. Okay, everybody. Well, never mind. Here. Just wait a minute. Watch this cartoon. Here's your remote. Don't turn it up super loud, okay? Give it a few minutes, everybody. Let everybody get in. So let me get her settled down right quick. What you want to watch? Well, I doubt there's any wolves on TV. I doubt I can find any wolves on TV right now. We got SpongeBob. SpongeBob. All right, I got it. So commercial, but it'll be right back on. Did anybody figure out what we were going to talk about? I was listening to myself talk yesterday, and I'm about to lose my voice. What's the problem, Mert? Okay, it's on a commercial, okay? You have to wait for the commercial to go off. And then SpongeBob's going to come on. I need this right quick. Okay, you're going to have to get up out of my lap for a second so I can play a video. Sit over there and watch SpongeBob right quick. Mark. We had a discussion about this. What do you need Q-tips in my ashtray?
About how many?
We're not going to do this. I told you that I was fixing to have to work some, okay? So let's not make a big deal. All right, everybody. I'm going to play a short portion of her interview that she did with the news broadcast before I say what I need to say and show you guys some stuff. But did anybody guess what we're going to talk about today? Put your guesses on the screen right quick, guys. I'll give you a hint. We're going to take a break from talking about the Summer Wells case. Just a small break, but we're going to take a break from talking about Summer for a second. Now, I put up 2 videos last night and today that took us back to several years ago and let you guys know where they were coming from, when they had came into the area. Showed y'all them coming from the Arkansas area, or so they wanted to make it look like. Showed you them adding that Claudia Trent to their Facebook, and them coming here, and people from Arkansas had never met the kids before and wanted to meet them, wanted to see them. Some pictures of the kids, how they had lived their life at the fairgrounds and stuff like that. So if you hadn't got a chance to check those out, I put those up. But I'm going to play a portion of her news interview so we can just be reminded of what she said about her sister. So let's play that.
Sister called missing. I was in between Arkansas and Tennessee. I don't know all of what happened or what did happen, but I hope that they find her too and bring her home safely too.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, she disappeared without a trace. They haven't found anything, haven't found a body, nothing. And you know, when you see cases like that, that's why I lose hope on Summer. You know, I want to keep hope, but sometimes I lose hope. And I think, well, maybe we won't never see her again, you know, or, so I start thinking in past tense. Sorry.
Turn your volume down.
But I'm trying to keep hope up. I'm trying to keep my prayers up and all that.
Echo. Turn your volume down so it won't echo. So you guys remember that? Come back to your memory now, what she said about her sister. So do you also remember that she made the comment where her sister's vehicle was found? All she knew about it was that her sister's vehicle had been found at a truck stop. And we all said, we find it really odd that in a family, we've never really heard of two people to go missing without a trace. And I know it's a lot to take in. You guys are like, well, she's giving us a lot. Well, one reason I am going to give you guys a lot of information, because I feel like if I give you guys the information and other people are doing the same thing I'm doing, that if we have all the information, someone out there can put two and two together and make something out of it. What if the little bit of information that I give you is something that someone else is just waiting for? It was that one bit of information that they were waiting for. So I'm not just going to sit on it and act like I don't know about it. I'm going to let you guys know about it. And maybe all together, we can put all the pieces together and figure out what's actually going on. So with all that being said about her sister, I had taken a dive into that case a long time ago. And I noticed that every time I would research the case, or I would, put a question out on Facebook about her sister and about where the car had been found and tried to find out anything about that case, there was always someone blocking me, always someone telling me that at the time Candace was pregnant and she was in Arkansas, and that, I was crazy for even mentioning anything like that. Although I didn't really mention anything, I was just simply asking questions and wanting to know things about the case, wanting to know about where the car had been found out, where they lived at and things like that. And the more I asked questions, the more I realized I was being blocked by specific people. And I didn't understand what they had to hide that was so important. So the more I stuck my nose in their business, because that's what I do. So I wanted to show you guys some of the things that I found. So give me a second. Well, for you guys that don't know what Candace's daughter looked like, some of you guys don't have Facebook. I know the other day I was telling you guys how much different I thought the boys looked than the children that I knew that Candace had. But this is Candace's daughter. And I'll find one in a minute of her son. But they are strikingly different looking than the boys. If you guys notice, they have a lot of the same features that Candace has. And the boys, if you notice now, they have none of the same features as Candace does. But hang on, let me pull some other stuff for you. Over here, Mark. So Candace's first husband's name was Andy. Well, his real name was Andrew. And she had two children with Andrew. One of them she named Andrew, and the daughter she named Candace also. So it'd be a third generation Candace. And after she was adopted, they changed her. Well, after she went to foster care, they changed her name to Floodden, the people that raised her. And then she ended up going back to foster care after those people took her out of the home. Anyways, well, make a long story short, I'm going to show you a picture of... Did you guys hear the interview where Candace said her sister's car was found at a truck stop? This is where her sister's car was found. This is what Candace refers to as a truck stop. Now, if you guys know anything about rigs, big trucks, you would probably agree with me when you say there's not many truck drivers that's going to want to go into this location. That's a post office beside that. It's a strip mall right here. I'm sure it's going in and out. But that's a strip mall right there, and there's two rows of cars, and I don't know why that keeps getting blurry right there. But that's where her sister's car was found. And I'll go y'all one better on that. It's not even not a truck stop. It's actually a laundromat. Keep that in your mind for just a second, okay? It's a laundromat. Now, hold on. Why is that important? This is the actual address where her sister's car was found. Everybody got that? All right. Show you something she probably don't want anybody to know about. Did a little research. So I found a restraining order. It's a 10-year restraining order. Something that's kind of hard to get. Says to have no contact with who? Candace Bly. Or, hold on, let this clear up. If it will clear up. Or what? Don't come around what? What does it say? Come on. Oh, Grantsburg Laundry. 10 years, right? It's 5 years before her sister went missing. 5 years after her sister went missing. 10 full years her husband Andrew could not come around Candace or the laundromat where her sister's car was found.
Mommy.
Not the truck stop.
Mommy.
The laundromat where her sister was found. And when I said I'm going to drop bombs today, I truly meant I'm going to drop bombs today. Okay? No joke. So let's read this once again. Her husband, Andrew, could not come around her or the laundromat. Now, you want to know why? He can't come around the laundromat because this is Candace's job. This is where Candace works. This is where her sister's car was found. At the laundromat, Grantsburg laundromat. Don't come around Candace Bly or the laundromat where she works. Now, mind you, Andrew was in Texas. Andrew doesn't have anything to do with her sister missing. But, knock on wood, who might? We know. Next. So, not only that, I was going through some Facebook posts, and I found some people that have said, someone said on a post, Candace stated, I'll have to go bury her with my sister. And then they went and looked and found out her sister had been missing since '09. Right? It's kind of crazy, huh? Imagine that. So I'm sure you know a subpoena or two could figure out who this person is and who they said it to and where the statement is. It's not too hard to find out. Wait, there's more. See, all it takes, guys, is a little bit of homework. Every now and then people can do a little bit of homework instead of sitting on the internet and talking to themselves and repeating the same crap over and over. Just do some homework. Then you'll surprise me. So where was her sister supposed to be going that night? We've heard they're supposed to go to the cousin's house, supposed to go here, supposed to go there. Well, no, there was actually a birthday party that night in Grantsburg. Now, what's in Grantsburg? Well, I did some research, and Grantsburg is where Grandis lives. Grandma lives in Grantsburg, still does. She's there right now. Who else lived in Grantsburg? Candace. Candace lived in Grantsburg. Candace lived in Grantsburg and could walk to the laundromat and walk to her home. They also had an uncle. His name was Ken. Ken lived in Grantsburg, and he was having a birthday party. Her sister was due to be at that party that night. Jeannie and Candace were supposed to meet her and take her to the birthday party that night. Jeannie ended up showing up, and Rose did not. Four days after the birthday party, where sister didn't show up, is when the car was found at the laundromat. 4 days after that, when the car was found, was also the birthday of the guy that Grandis lives with. The young guy is about 34 years old, the same age as Rose was. Lives in the same house with Grandma. Is it a coincidence? I don't know, because it's the same guy that went and told Rose's ex-husband that she was cheating on him with. Is it true? No, I don't think so, because Jeannie ended up getting with Rose's husband after they did whatever they did with her. Is it a coincidence that Rose called DSS and had Candace's first two kids taken? I wouldn't think it's a coincidence, you guys. I don't think it's a coincidence that Jeannie ended up with her husband. I don't think any of this is a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence when you lie and you say that it's a truck stop where my sister's car was found and it's your job. You know, when your mom comes out and says, well, my daughter had hit her head on, in a horse accident and she could just be lost wandering around. Why wouldn't you want the entire world searching for your daughter if your daughter was missing? Why would you put that thought in anybody's head that there could be something wrong with my daughter? You don't need to go look for her. Not to mention, you pass that parking lot every day on your way to work. I did the route on Google Images. She passes that every day on her way to the Dollar Tree to go to work. She could not have missed her daughter's car sitting right there beside that road. She was actually the first person that they went and got when the little civil patrol people found the car. They called Grandma first. She was the first one on the scene to her daughter's car. But yet she acts like she has no clue what was at that truck stop where my daughter's car was found. Truck stop? You mean your daughter's job? You mean the one you used to open the door of and yell at her and pick on her every day and make fun of her? And if you don't believe that, one of her friends just did a interview on one of the other channels you guys can go listen to, and they talked about how brutal that Grandma was to Candace when Candace worked at the laundromat, how Grandma used to open the door and yell through the laundromat at Candace to make fun of her. I don't put what people say or hearsay on here because that's not my business. What I put on here is facts. These are facts. Where that car was found is a fact. What Candace has said is a truck stop, that's a fact. You said that. You said you weren't there in that area. That's not true. You were working there. Do I feel it? I 100% feel it. Why else would you lie? If I don't have anything to lie about, why would I say I'm not there when I was there? Why would I say it's a truck stop when it's a laundromat where I work? Why would I lie at all if I wasn't involved at all? What reason would you have to lie if you weren't involved at all? I mean, I don't understand. To me, in my mind, Don's lying because he's got a reason to try to keep that land up there. She's got a reason to lie because she's got this in her background. Well, Grandma sure got a reason to lie. She's got the whole dang thing in her background. So, only thing I can figure is I'm beating my head against the wall wondering, how are they getting away with it? If I'm finding all this, if I can look at a Google image and see it's a laundromat, go and research the laundromat, find out what that actually was, find out that Mom lives right there, Candace lived right there, and Candace worked right there. If I can do that, what in the world is going on that authorities aren't doing this? Oh, Jill, yes, I've sent everything that I have. Today, I sent everything to Grantsburg, too. So, yeah, I've sent everything I have there today, and I've sent everything that I have to the FBI, too. So, they have it as of today. Did they have it before? I don't know, but they should have. I mean, I don't see why they didn't. I do know they've had a lot of people running interference. If you go make a comment on the internet, I know why they couldn't get to the bottom of it, because somebody's running interference. If you try to ask a question, they'll come behind it. Even on YouTube, the other day I made a comment and some Lisa lady, she come in and jumped right in there, and I said, look, lady, I don't need you jumping and telling me anything about what I say. If you want to take up for Candace and tell me she was pregnant in another state, whatever. I said, I personally don't even believe Josie's hers, so don't tell me she was pregnant over in Arkansas somewhere. I'm asking a question. I want to know where she really was. So I don't need you to run interference or tell me anything. I'm actually really trying to find out facts. But I've noticed they run interference. They'll come and they'll try to shut you down. She didn't come back and say anything after I did that, though. And I thought, well, that's another one of them chihuahuas. You know, they run at you, bark at you, and expect you to back down. And then when you don't, they got nothing. They don't come back and say anything. But most people will back down and just give up. And I'm just not going to give up anymore. But I don't understand how she's gotten away with it this long. Obviously, her temper is, I mean, we knew about her son. We had a feeling about her sister. I think we all did. Did I think? I mean, I noticed on Facebook, her sister had made a comment one time. She had a joke on her Facebook page. I'll post it so you guys can see it. It was something about all these bitches are tripping. I might have pushed one of them, and the sister made a comment back, shoot, girl, you probably pushed all of them. And just made her look like she was really mean. And it was kind of the only comment I ever seen Jeannie make to Candace. And I thought, well, that's probably an inside joke about them two. Because I knew that Jeannie had got with Chris right after Jeannie had went missing. But I knew that it really wasn't Chris, because Chris had really worried about Rose after she went missing. And he had the two kids with her. And he seemed like he was really, and he had the polygraph and all. And I knew that they knew he didn't have anything to do with it, at least firsthand knowledge. He may have, long after it had happened, found out that Jeannie had something to do with it or whatever, but I don't think he had any firsthand knowledge when it happened. And he did end up getting full custody real shortly after she went missing, and it all did make him look bad. But I thought it went deeper than that. I knew that them girls didn't get along, and they were really jealous of Rose because of the relationship that Rose had with Grandis. And there was a lot of animosity growing up in the ways they was raised with the father, and all the things I had studied about them. I already knew that it was just a lot of hate already there. And so in reading the stuff that went on and knowing the relationship there, it's just awkward when you read certain things between those girls. Oh no one's grieving in this situation. I mean, I haven't seen anyone grieve. I think the angriest I got was when I heard Candace fake that phone call to Mary. And I thought, you couldn't even cry about Summer, but yet you're hyperventilating on the phone, faking crying, which I've never heard someone be able to do, fake hyperventilate before. That was shocking. But it seems like I had some more things I was going to show you guys. I'm usually never done. Wherever I dug that out, I'm sure I got more. Hold tight. So did I tell you Bam I was going to drop bombs? We probably wasn't ready to even go there, but I'm not going to sit on it because somebody else is probably working on this case too and can use it to put with whatever they found. These cases shouldn't just go unsolved because somebody doesn't want to let the evidence go or whatever they come across. I say let it go. Tell people what you find, and then they could put it together with what they find. Oh, me too. I would, yeah. You just have to lock me up somewhere. I'd be a crazy woman. You mess with my kids, my grandkids especially. My kids, they're grown. But my grandkids, they're babies. Seems like I have two statements that say from coworkers saying that they've admitted that they killed their sister too. That I sent to the detective. I was going to pull those up. And they weren't using fake names. They were using their real names. And if nothing else, they said they have DNA in the car. And I don't know if it's blood evidence, saliva, whatever. If the fight broke out, hair. I don't know what's in the car, but they said they have DNA. It should be enough for a presumptive DNA test. And presumptive DNA, you just sneak the DNA. Then if it matches, you go get arrest warrant and take their DNA then. But it's enough for that. Even with just two statements and not the rest of the stuff, not the rest of the lies she told. And I'm sure they have a statement for whenever it happened. And surely she didn't give them this same statement. If she did, I mean, and they just went for that. That's crazy. 3 girls, Grandis, yeah, they're 3. The one that's missing, and then there's Jeannie. That's the one that ended up with Rose's husband. And then they've split up since. She's with someone else. And then Candace, the one, Summer's mother. So there was 3 girls. And then Grandis is what I call her, but she's Candace too. Abandoned the girls when they were small, left them with the father. She left for another woman. and they all still talk to that woman. If y'all remember the other day when Don made the statement that we even was concerned about the elderly lady that she might have come and took Summer, but come to find out she ended up being a nursing home. Well, that lady is in a nursing home out in Vegas, but it's the same lady that their mom left 4 years ago. I'm not going to name her because it's not my place, but it is the same lady that's always been in their lives through the years. I was going to pull these two statements right quick, y'all. Hang on. Mark, Papa's calling you. And I think that if y'all go through the Facebook post that I put up earlier, we'll all get the same impression. Candace was never in Arkansas for any length of time. And I traced her leaving Grantsburg and going directly to Texas. And from what I'm finding so far, and don't hold me to it because I've got to continue doing research, but I found her going directly to Texas, and I think that's where the boys probably came from, is Texas. So trying to figure out exactly where they came from, seeing if I can get birth certificates for them. Well, really for all the kids, because she didn't come to Tennessee and bring any of the kids or Summer until Summer was born. So they weren't never seen in Tennessee until after Summer was born, and she brought them all together at the same time. If that helps y'all understand anything about what happened. So no one here in Tennessee, there in Tennessee. Thank you. A package came, you guys. Ooh. So no one there in Tennessee ever seen her pregnant or anything like that. By the time she came there and settled. Now Dawn had came a little bit before her, but the boys and Candace came separately. Well, take it in there and let Papa open it, babe. Let me get something to drink, guys. Mark, go in there and let Papa open that package. Oh, I was going to tell y'all. 423 Chase is putting up a billboard. A Afro-Human. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, Bama girl. That's our big problem. She put us on such a goose. What do you call that when somebody sends us a wild goose chase? This is on such a wild goose chase. Everybody's been looking for the wrong place. Yeah. And so, check it out. Remember I told y'all that Claudia Trent lady, every time she does a deed, for some reason she has these people add her to Facebook. I thought that was crazy. I was like, why is this lady adding these people to Facebook every time? Okay, thank you. Every time she does a deed. So I went back and the Wayback Machine, and I got Don's old Facebook. He's got like 500. So I was looking where this lady added him on the Facebook, and then she's got her face all blurred out on her pictures, and I'm like, this is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. I'm probably going to end up finding her, and the real Claudia Trent's going to be dead somewhere in a grave and never existed. I mean, who knows where this is going to end? I don't know. Every day I wake up and I do some research, and I'm shocked my own self. I don't even listen to my own self talk anymore. Y'all know that, right? I think I'm crazy when I talk.
Somebody raised the top.
Huh?
Do you know if anybody raised the top of it up?
Nobody did, because nobody's been in there.
I used the flashlight, shine down in there.
Uh-huh. I don't know. Nobody's been in there. My mom's making bread, and it's sunk in the middle, so it's somebody's fault, but it's not mine. I didn't do it. I need a cigarette, y'all. I'm taking deep breaths today. But seriously, like, I understand why y'all don't go to another channel and y'all be like, hey, we think his mom's alive, and we didn't get this house from her, and, Candace probably did such and such, and, I get it, y'all. I don't even know anymore. I was telling somebody the other day, I was kicked out of 3 rooms, and I got told to fuck off on Aussie Insider the other day, and then she came back and she was like, how's that for being professional? And I was like, well, I guess it's professional. We're only talking about a little girl here that's probably dead somewhere. I mean, I guess you're fine. Don't worry about it. Maybe they'll catch her the next time she kills somebody else. It's just like I'm over it. I feel like I get it. I get that I sound crazy. But I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what to do anymore. Bama, I'm coming for you. If I don't hear from you every day, just like me, come for me. Call my phone. I'm gonna give you that. I'll give you a special code to dial if you don't hear from me, and check up on me because there's something bad wrong because it is going down. And I was writing that email to the investigator that's been working this case for Rose Bly for all these years, and I was reading. I was literally reading when I was typing, and I was like, I was having to include everything about the deeds and what was going on this side over here. And so I was telling him, pull the deeds for this land and look at it for yourself. And I was like, it's not just one, it's a lot. I said, so I'm talking about really big numbers. So I think I'm in over my head. There's not much more I can do here. Hawkins County's not moving on this. I don't think they're going to. He's fixing to rerun for sheriff again. Yeah, I've seen that. It's a joke. I can't even got time for him. It's They're going to keep doing it till they try to distract somebody that knows what they're doing. So with me, yeah, they're gonna wave a big red flag in my face to try to distract me from what I'm doing. And I'm just not. I don't care what they do. You know, they can distract everybody else because they're not really doing anything anyways. I can't do the drama. Yeah, I've unsub from everybody. I don't even go to any room anymore. Actually, I don't because I used to because I thought I would learn something. I would go check, what everybody was doing and see if I was missing anything. But I've learned that it don't do me any good. I stay out of trouble if I just stay over here, and I got enough to keep me busy. I mean, they've done so much that I can stay busy between how many deeds that I can trace back to dead people and names that I can find on church rosters and how many are LDS and how many friends on Facebook are they friends with in LDS, how many came here from another state and bought a house that they owe on. I mean, it's a never-ending battle. So, nah, I can't watch any of them. I mean, they're not doing anything. I don't understand what they even have people convinced that they're doing for Summer or for anyone to help anything. And it's all about them. It's just obviously it's narcissistic behavior. It's, hey, look at me, and that's all it is. I can't, after so long of hearing it, I can't do it. I'm more worried about the fact that I sound like a Looney Tune, so I could care less what any of them's doing. Yeah, I think everybody's just losing it. They wouldn't be if they could focus, honestly. If they could focus their attention and their energy and their pain, because it is such a roller coaster of emotion. And you want to feel like you're getting somewhere, that if you can direct that focus towards the proper channels, you would feel like you're heading somewhere. And every day that I direct mine in the proper way, at least I feel like I'm understanding it a little bit more, and I understand what they're doing, because it has to be so much bigger than what I'm understanding. Because say even if it was just this church that's in Kingsport, if it was just them, they couldn't come up with the millions we're talking about. $2 million in 6 months spent by, okay, let's say Ryder. God, and that's the bad thing. I hate mixing him up with Dave Rader from Equisearch because that's a wonderful man. And then we have Ryder from the church. Mommy. What, baby? I'm Gigi. Me? Okay, you can have it. Yeah. So he spent $1 million private money and then 1.9 million on a church budget when he was talking the other day in his meeting. And that kind of money, I mean, if you guys go to church and have a pastor and you've had a building fund before, you know what it's like to wait for your church to raise $20,000, $30,000. It's an effort in a small church. Well, when I check their members, they have 200 members there. So on a good day, when you're taking an offering and they're saying they want 10%, that's what they say. Don't get me wrong, that's not what I believe they get, but that's what they say. So 10% for 200 people in that church. There's no way that they're getting that kind of money. So, where is that kind of money coming from? Now, they're calling themselves SDA. So, they want to be held separately from LDS. LDS supposedly wants to be held separate from Brigham Young and the Mormons, right? So, is it because they want to be held separately for legal reasons? because they're not really separate, because everything I traced back goes right to Brigham City, which they own the town and pretty much the whole state of Utah, basically. If you start checking it, they own the county buildings, they own the banks, they own the records, they own everything there, which I don't even know how we ever let that be legal anyways. They shouldn't own anything that has to do with the government. But I thought we were supposed to keep that separate, but I guess we don't. Not there anyways. Hey, Cam and Ricky. I hope you just didn't get here, Cam and Ricky, because I don't know if I can go through all that again. Hey, Ocean's daughter. Well, welcome. Hey, truly, I'm glad you came. We didn't discuss anything. Y'all haven't missed anything if y'all just got here. We was just basically just talking about the same old, same old. We was talking about the fact that Don's doing a lot of lying, and we don't know how to redirect him into the proper lane of finding his daughter is what we would like him to do.
I tell Mommy.
Well, actually, because of bloodline, that church believes in bloodlines. They believe in genealogy and ancestry, and because he's born into that religion, technically, you'll be that religion. Did he go to that church or anything like that before before he got that house? No, but he comes from a long line of Mormons. So therefore, you're automatically accepted into that as long as you can trace back your lineage. And his father and all of them are all from that church. So yeah, technically by what they call your rights, he has the right to that church and that religion. So, and they are looking for that white European heritage, and he belongs in that church. So he'll get anything that they want.
Let's see what you got.
That bucket, my buckets.
Oh, how pretty.
Thank you.
I used to have Cajun turkey, but they didn't have it today.
Thank you.
How am I doing?
So it goes for, a lot further than just Don. I would have thought when this happened, I don't really know what they thought. I'm pretty sure it's the first time maybe it had happened there. But since it had happened with Tylee and JJ, and I think it had happened with some more kids, and there was another story I was thinking of a little bit earlier that slipped my mind right now, but this religion has kind of been in the forefront of everybody's mind for about 2 years now. I would have thought they had done some damage control more than what they have done. But it seems like that what they want to do is distance themselves by either making you branch off into another sect or send you to another state. Thus, they end up going, this big group will be in Texas, and big group will be in Arkansas, and this big group now is in Tennessee, which is now spreading out to eastern North Carolina, and where else was it, David? Georgia, and
Tennessee. No Cajun turkey, no
yeah, I said Tennessee.
Turkey. I got black pepper
Mom.
and smoked turkey.
So it's in that whole northern area. Yeah, Afro-Human, it has a lot to do with that basic belief system, and they back you being able to move from place to place. They condone the lifestyle that makes that possible for them to do things like that and not track your kids because, well, you don't have birth certificates. You're not making them go to school. They're almost impossible to track. You don't have to have shot records. They don't want you to have all these things that we use to try to keep up with our children and making sure our children are okay. They want all that stuff not to be questioned, and we shouldn't be able to ask those questions. And especially when it comes to female children, we're definitely not supposed to ask questions about that. They're supposed to be less than. Was also served. What do you mean, Karen? Served with what? Was a sister's husband. Everybody used to say it was a sister's husband because, that's what normally everybody says when somebody comes up missing. They'll blame the husband. Because he ended up with the kids and stuff and then ended up dating her sister. It does appear that way, right? I mean, you would at least think he was involved if you were looking at a random case. But to me, when someone stands out that much looking that guilty, I mean, he goes looking for her the following morning. He alerts the police. He goes and asks for a polygraph test. He starts dating your sister out in the open for people to see. He starts looking for you with put posters up and stuff and talking about it openly. And I mean, he's not really tried to hide himself or what went on either. So, I mean, it kind of was stupid if he did do something to put himself out there so blatantly. Probably the last thing I would have done was date your sister if I did do something to you. But Jeannie had babysitted for them and pretty much lived in their house. So, her kind of taking over her role after she went missing, she just seemed to fall into that place, I guess. But you see how karma works. That didn't work out for her very long, did it? Picture. I know I missed something. You don't have to brag on me on here, baby. You can do it in person. And I don't need chips right here. It's okay. I didn't need snacks right now, baby. I'm going to go get a snack. You go get a snack, and then I'm going to get a snack, okay? Because I'm almost done. You can go get a snack. Oh, man. That's why, Vibes, I was thinking about not even sharing this, but then I said, well, I'm not just going to not share it because it's a lot of really valuable information to anybody that's searching for Rose's case.
Come here, let me say something.
And if I just don't share it and somebody else is working on the case, then that's not doing any good for Rose's case. So it's not fair. So the best thing I can do is just put it out there and say, hey, if you're working on it, here it is. Take it, put it with yours, work on it, and maybe somebody else can use it, and we can get justice one way or another. I'd much rather just be working on Summer's case, but just because they run her life, I mean, what I've been doing is going through her entire life, which means I've worked all the way back to. I was starting to go backwards through her whole life, just what kind of person was she and how did this start, where did things go bad. And as I've been doing that, you find out more and more about a person. And when I start seeing that things don't match up with what you've told me they should be, they draw a red flag. I screenshot it. And when I get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that's not what you told me, that starts becoming a lot of evidence to me. So when I had like 6 things tonight, I said, well, look, I'm going to share it with y'all because it's not one thing that I found. It's like 6 things that I found that look like, why is all this point towards your sister's disappearance when there shouldn't be anything pointing towards it? What, baby? Go get a snack. Go get the chips and bring them in here and I'll open it for you. Is that what you want me to do? Okay, we'll bring them. Why couldn't you open the chips? What's up with that?
I will.
Well, that's what she's crying about. So, you guys, I'm going to leave it up to you. Where do we go from here? Now, you all know all her children, they are grown. They live with their dad. His name is Chris Larson. From what I understand, he's a good dude. And that he's done real well with the kids. I'm sure they are probably curious about their mother, and I think they need to understand. They've always made it sound like their mom just wanted to go away, but I've heard wonderful things about Rose being a mom. I heard that's all she ever wanted to be. That she, it always bothered her that she didn't have a mom. But as she got, when she was grown, her and her mom started having a relationship. And out of all 3 kids, Grandis was most proud of Rose and how good of a mother Rose was. And Grandis bragged on Rose a lot, especially on Facebook. I've got a lot of comments that I copied about Grandis bragging on what a good mother that Rose was and how good that they got along. And her and Rose did a lot of things together. The Saturday before Rose went missing, there was a family reunion, and Rose and Grandis went to the family reunion together, and there was a lot of pictures taken there. So those were the last known pictures of Rose, actually. And And I think it was 3 days before Rose went missing. So for that, I know that Grandma was closest to Rose, and I know there was a lot of jealousy there because of that. I know that Rose had also confided a lot in Grandis about the treatment. She babysitted for Candace along with her two children, and she confided a lot in Grandis over what Candace was doing to the children.
Wise old lady.
So when she would confide in Grandis, Grandis would tell Candace all the things that Rose would say to her, and she would call her name. She would tell her how sorry she was, and she'd make it a point to stop by the laundromat and let her know how sorry she was in front of everybody. And if you want to go over to that channel and listen to the lady that did the interview the other day, um, she told about that. She told how Candace would open the door. How Grandis would open the door to that laundromat and yell through there and make fun of Candace and, tell people what she thought of her. And it used to make people, sad. It doesn't me because I actually believe Rose. I believe that she was that bad of a mom. I look back on Candace's history and I have all of her police reports. Um, Candace would fight the police like she was a man. She would fist fight them. She would fist fight them over guns. Anything that came to the house, where if they came to, she had a disturbing the peace call and they were drunk or whatever, they would have to fight her. So she had a lot of disturbing the peace and resisting arrest, and um, it's just she liked to brawl like a man, and she was just physically, that's just who she was. And I know people have asked a lot of times about her knuckle tattoos, saying Andy on them. Well, that was her ex-husband, Andy, and they used to physically fist fight each other with those knuckles. So she was known for doing that. It's just the kind of person that she was. So,
Okay.
do I think she changed much from who she actually is? No. I think she's still very much that person. And Rose was a, a lot different. She wanted to be a mother. She was feminine. She liked to wear dresses. She was the opposite of everything that we see that Candace is. And I think that she was probably everything Candace wanted to be and couldn't be. And I think Candace Grandis used it against Candace a lot in life. And there's a lot of resentment there. And I was kind of shocked that Grandis decided to come to Tennessee to tag along with Candace over here. I know that Jeannie is not going to come down here and be around Candace.
Welcome, wise
None of
old
them can
lady.
get along. It is. That's another thing that makes it hard to talk about because there is children involved. Even if they're adult children, they still, even Candace's adult children, that's still their mother. And so when I say things, it's always in the back of my mind that no matter what I say and how that I say them, I know that I have to, because it's important we understand who we're dealing with. But also, I understand I'm talking about someone's mother, and you only get one in this life. And I would not want anyone to say bad things about my mom, even if I knew that she was an awful person. So don't think that I don't think about what I say before I say it. I do, and I understand that there is a consequence for everything that I say, and it's very sad that one day there is children that's going to have to live with the consequences of their actions. And I do take it seriously that I have to say the things that I say. It's not because I want to or I want them to feel less than. I do not feel any of this is their fault or it's anything that they could control. I feel nothing but sadness for the fact that this is who their mother is. But it's the truth. It's what I've come to find out. I'd like to say it's an opinion, but it's an opinion based on a lot of facts. Let's just put it that way. But I take it seriously. I'm not sitting here just talking because I want to say bad things. I don't. I'd love to say good things. In fact, I'll sit here and think for a minute if I could come up with something good. Give me 1 second. Merp, you want to say something nice? Will you say something nice?
You do nothing nice.
Say something nice. What? Say something sweet. Wolf? Wolf. That's just the nicest thing you can come up with. Merp wants to be a wolf for Halloween. I know, you want to watch Wolf. Put Wolf on here. Well, has anybody got any questions?
Do you remember us?
No, Merp. I'm not going to listen to Chris Watts. Anybody got any questions right quick? Yeah, I told you I had some bombs to drop today. And I had my full day set up to actually talk. We was going to go all the way back to the beginning because I had a full page set up of what I was going to talk about today of other things. And I just decided I was not going to talk about that. Merp wants to be on TV. Merp, you going to be on TV on YouTube? She's going to be on YouTube. Merpy. All right, here's your wolves. I downloaded StreamYard today, y'all, but I gotta learn how to use it first. Here you go, werewolves right here. Quit. Okay. Okay. There you go. Here. Can you watch it over there so I can finish what I'm doing? And I'll be done. They said, hey, Merp. They said, hey, sweetie, look. She drew a wolf. Look at that. See that wolf? Ooh, Merp likes that wolf.
Have you looked into non-chorus?
I seen that name. I have not looked far into that. But if I'm not mistaken, that's the same group of whales that come from West Virginia, right? Well, I'll tell you that name has got me thinking that Don Wells Jr. is not Don Wells Jr. I'll tell you that much. If that helps you any. I think he's just accepted, okay, Don Wells Jr., I'm going to say that's my son, just in case someone traced him back to me. That's where I'm at with that one.
Arkansas?
Is it Arkansas? I don't know. I've traced a bunch of them in West Virginia. Mount something, West Virginia. There you go. The memorial is. You guys, yeah, that's what I was talking about. He made us all believe that he went to another church and that he had just started going to this church because he just decided that the Sabbath was on a Saturday, so he was going to start going to this church. And I couldn't remember if he ever told us what church he used to go to. But then all the videos surfaced, right? Summer was walking around in the church, and we were all like, well, why do they have so many videos of Summer? Well, come to find out, he had been going to that church all the time. And then Robin comes out and says, I've been her teacher for years. Well, yeah, you have. But why didn't you call him out for lying to us?
The name of this baby.
Uh-huh.
Same person said he was arrested in child protection in Arkansas.
Oh, wow. Was he in the church?
It's bad.
I heard there was a bust in the church in Florida, too. The child trafficking.
Non-chorus whatever.
Mm-hmm.
First one said that he was arrested for child trafficking in Arkansas.
Wow. Mark, take that over there. It's too loud. I'm going to have to turn it off. I need to finish what I'm doing.
Started a YouTube channel on July the 14th. June 14th.
Wow, the day before Summer went missing, he started a YouTube channel? What's his YouTube channel about? Mommy. That's crazy. What? Yeah, but let me finish this. Do it over there so I can finish this right quick. Okay. You're on my leg and it hurts.
Over here, it said behind me.
Here. There's your phone. Let me finish this. I'll be done. Just give me a second. Just 1 second. My leg.
Go get you a bait.
hurts. You're sitting on my leg.
Oh, quit crying. There's Daddy. The Daddy.
Yeah, I don't know what his channel's about though. Well, I find that really odd. Did you guys get the chance to look through that, the Facebook stuff I put up that Don had put when he was trying to get the deed and all switched over for the land on Ben Hill, where he had added that I can never say her name right, Carlos S. Trent. Did y'all get to look at that? And on there she had said, I can't wait for Candace to come up here in the van so I can meet them boys. Thank you, Karen. Well, there was another lady that was making a comment. She was from Arkansas, and she had put above the boys' pictures that I can't wait for Candace to, yeah, Claudia, that's it. I don't know why I can't never say it, because she spells it like that, so I keep forgetting. Yeah, it's on here. I loaded it last night and today. I went back to his 2014, 2016 stuff, because he had made it on a post, and I didn't post it, but there's a picture, and I'll get it, where he is first arriving onto the land, and he pulls up on the land. He takes a picture of those old trucks that are still there, like the big blue GMC and the red one and another old truck. They're already there on the land. He takes a picture of it and he puts on there, we made it. And then he made a Facebook for all the boys on the same day too. I guess because they had been traveling or whatever, probably just something to do. But that was the only picture that he had loaded, and the only comment was, we made it. And I guess he lost the screen name or whatever. So then he goes and makes this one, where obviously that Claudia lady tells him to add her as a friend, like she does what I've seen everybody else on these other deeds. She has everybody add this account that she hasn't made any post on, but she has a profile picture, but she has her face blurred out. She has like 5 people sitting there and no post at all, but she has like a bunch of people from Arkansas, but then everybody else is LDS from the church. You go in and look at them, and they're people that are moving to Kingsport or Churchill. I see Kingsport, Churchill. There was one other place in East Tennessee. Or right to that old stage road area. Those 3. Yeah. Payne Ridge Road. Those Payne Ridge Road properties are usually ones that they just run you through so that it looks like you were at another property over there. But just like on Ben Hill Road, at one time, Ben Hill used to be determined. It wasn't called Ben Hill Road, and it didn't have any numbers when they first started doing this. So Old Stage Road right now is like, doesn't have any house numbers, and it's blank, and they're doing this. And what will happen is eventually it will have house numbers, and it will be like Ben Hill Lane. They'll go back and they'll redo it all over again. And Payne Ridge Road's kind of similar. So they're basically doing the same thing over and over and over to these properties. I went back to 2000, and Ben Hill was then to be determined. Didn't have house numbers and all that. It was like one big farm area, and the only thing there was that old farmhouse and then the trailer that was there. And honestly, as far as I can tell, I can't see that even William or Karen ever lived there. And I'm being truthful. I think that their names were just pulled because they were already dead. And they had all their information from the church memberships. They had their social and all that because they were LDS. And they're all in that same graveyard. They're all on the original scrolls in that same graveyard. So they have all their information already before they even start doing these deeds for the land.
I wanted to show you, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah, because Why?
I don't know, guys. I mean, I don't even know where we go from here. Any ideas?
You talk to your mom.
Keep digging. And I don't want to beat a dead horse. Yeah, well, what I know of her so far, I can't tell you. Is she truly alive? I don't know. I only see her on paper. But as far as her background, her address being in that apartment where she's at, and everybody else around her, like I said, the other people on that paperwork, one guy worked for the IRS out of Brigham Young. She graduated Brigham Young in 65. The other guy on the paperwork was a genealogy major out of Brigham Young. The people that I've seen, and because it was like Main Street right downtown Brigham Young, I would say, yeah, they've got to be hold some kind of prominent place within the Mormon church, within the big church, not just within SDA or LDS. I'd say they got to hold big position within the big Mormon church, the big Mormon religion. And I just think that all they're doing is, putting this extra name out there, SDA or LDS, just to cover for themselves because of everything going on, the heat that's already on them over Warren Jeffs and them. Because this is no different. I mean, what they're doing right here is no different.
Hey, Bird.
But, yeah, we can look up all of her information and stuff.
I said you like to fix sandwich tonight.
I don't see any death information on her, but that's one thing about them. They're not big on that kind of thing. They're big on keeping your lineage, but they keep the books on that. So who's to say that they're really giving us the true information? Well, one of them would have to be. I don't know who Robin is married to, but I'm gonna say her husband would be more senior than she is, but she does hold office in the church because she's a school teacher in there, right? So I don't know what else she does for the church, but I'm gonna assume that that's probably her husband in the black jacket. I could be wrong. I don't know because I hadn't got a chance to sit and watch those services and pay attention to her and him. I mostly have paid attention to Summer thus far, but I'm going to assume that that might be her husband. But whoever her husband is probably holds an office in that church. So I'd say she has to know. Thank you, Afro-Human. That's sweet of you. I appreciate that. Church of vibes. I don't know. I guess it depends on your outlook on owns. I don't really consider it they own.
They changed the
I
name.
kind of consider it they stole,
They
took.
changed the name of that but they changed the name of that cemetery close to Don, didn't
It was Morrison Cemetery is what it was named.
they? I thought they changed it.
Morrison Cemetery on the map is what that one is close to Don. Are you talking about the one where Karen and them are buried? It's not close to Don.
What do you think?
Georgia Comp 7-day owns property on Kenny Creek Road. Any certain property you guys want to do research on, we'll pull one. If you want to, we'll do it together right now. Just to see where it goes to. The one by the truck school. That's the one everybody's talking about was called the Wells Cemetery or something, you guys? Is that what y'all talking about? I want to do one for beginners. Let's see. Alexa, search YouTube for Morrison Cemetery in Rogersville, Tennessee. Sorry, my voice is cracking, guys. Babe, will you find me a cough drop or a sore throat lozenge? I've been talking too much. I lose my voice.
We're going by that.
Okay. You gonna go see your other Mimi? Yeah. Okay. Hang on one second, y'all. If anybody wants to come up with an actual address or anything they're curious of in the area of what they own, I'll do the cemetery right quick. He's in his room, baby. Alexa, Google Morrison Cemetery, Rogersville, Tennessee. I should have told y'all. Should have put my phone on airplane mode. Yeah. We don't ever know if that's good news or bad news, do we, Wolf Lover? Putting the cemetery information online. But Find a Grave just kind of started doing that recently, but they have records in the church that go back to the early 1800s. And I'm going to tell you, a couple of these graveyards I was looking at recently are sketch. I mean, one man I was looking at is LDS, and either he has now lived to be 113 or somebody's lying. I love you. Have fun. Bye-bye. She needs shoes, Bird? Okay. Have fun. Love you. I see you. Bye-bye. Joe on McCurry Road is property that Karen's paid. Probably. I'll tell you, Vibe, it's going to be one of the properties that are not listed on this report. I'll tell you that. She lives somewhere that these people don't have listed on this because they're not going to want us to look at it at the same time we're looking at anything that has to do with Dawn. So the two is not going to meet each other. So if you came up with that separately, you're probably right. And because I've not seen that address, and because I've been looking more at his stuff, I'm going to say you're probably correct there. Because I've been looking at all stuff that's attached to him that doesn't look familiar to me, so you're probably right on the money. Good work. I like seeing homework, Vibes. Vibes does homework. Babe, put Vibes' name on the board. 1 point. 2 points. 5 points, probably. I quit keeping score. I should have kept score. What did I say that was? Is it Morrison or Morristown, y'all?
Morrison. You talking about the graveyard?
You guys, that 125 Ben Hill, 105 Ben Hill, and 205 Ben Hill are all a problem. Yeah, that Wells Cemetery. Is that really called the Wells Cemetery? I mean, I watched one show on it one time. Somebody was calling it the Wells Cemetery. I've not been able to track a true Wells over to the area, so I don't know where they got that information from. So, Morrison. M-O-R, thank you. M-O-R-R-I-S-O-N. I don't have my paper here, obviously. I flunked the test.
Bad.
I get an F. I said I don't have my paper out here. More. What? You made me mess up. Alexa, Google Morrison Cemetery, Rogersville, Tennessee. Is this an LDS graveyard or just a regular graveyard? Bama. I'm going to get an F today. Oh. No, not Morrison, Colorado. Alexa, Google Morrison Cemetery, Rogersville, Tennessee.
You ask your question.
What question?
Study law.
Huh?
Study law. You ask your question.
I can't see it yet. Yeah, hold on a second.
She asked, didn't you study law?
Yeah, I did. It gave me a headache because lawyers are crooks.
Somebody said it's
All I know now is keep myself out of trouble. I don't know how to get nobody in trouble. I did good keeping myself out of trouble, though. I just know how to make a whole lot of mean statements without doing anything, get myself locked up. That's about
They
it.
say it's called McCurry now.
McCreary?
MCCR.
Maybe that. At the Wells Cemetery or the Morrison one is called. Because now I'm not getting anything on the Morrison. Alexa, search Google for the Morrison Cemetery in Rogersville, Tennessee. I should have just done list of cemeteries in Rogersville. Can't be that many. I didn't know that this area was such a big LDS area, though, until now. Here we go. Morrison Cemetery, Hawkins County, Tennessee.
Morrison is off Beach Creek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just going to look up if it was a regular cemetery, if it's like an old LDS cemetery.
Oh.
Because the one where the Goods are buried, Karen and William are buried, is an old LDS cemetery. Everybody that I look up in there has all been. See, this one is also mentioned in the genealogy and history of the trails. Let me check this. I'm wondering if this cemetery is also finding ancestors.
Morris isn't listed in a find the grave. McQuarrie is in Kingsport.
Oh, okay. And now, is that a family cemetery, or is that county cemetery, or is that a church cemetery? What is it? There's all different kinds. This used to be called the Hawkins County Memorial Cemetery. Still using it.
Light Cemetery.
Oh, there's some mean people. That's a big family. They own a lot of land around there.
That's Suffolk County.
I am surprised that this land, that no one in the family is still alive that traced this back to their heritage and was upset or anything, that Don just came right in and took up 11 acres. I mean, I would have expected that someone in the family from the old C.J. Morlock family would have came forward and been like, that was my family's farm back in the day. How did you end up with it? And that's what's surprising to me. No one has. And they got a lot more cemeteries around here than I knew they have. Kyle Cemetery, Heck Cemetery, New Life Cemetery, Levin Cemetery, McBride Cemetery. Good gracious, Rogersville. It's full of cemeteries.
I wake up to David Koresh.
Somebody brought that up today when I was talking about cults. I said, I don't know why we're shocked. Do you remember when everybody was drinking their Kool-Aid and there was 2,000 people standing around watching other people die, and they were still shocked that people was continuing to drink the Kool-Aid when people were falling at their feet. And we're still shocked when we sit back and watch people believe that this is happening. We shouldn't be. And they were like, yeah, remember David Koresh? He was sleeping with 14-year-old girls, and people still thought he was a rock star. And I was like, yeah.
Google McQuarrie Cemeteries, Wales.
Oh, I got a McBride here. Hang on. I got them all pulled up. I'll just pick it if I can see it. Oh, nope, it's not one of mine. I got McBride. They said McClura? What?
McCrary.
McCrary. Alexa, search Google for McCreary Cemetery. Where did they say it was? Kingsport? Did they say Kingsport or Rogersville? Kingsport?
Is that Kingsport?
Alexa, search Google for McCreary Cemetery in Rogersville, Tennessee. McCreary Park Cemetery. McCreary. Well, Alexa don't have this, but McCary. So this is the one that the Wells family is supposed to own. Smith McCreary Cemetery. Oh, formerly known as the Wells Cemetery. Here we go. Located off of 181, exit 50, turn on 81, Joe M. McCreary Road, Fall Branch, Tennessee. Oh, let's see who they're kin to. Hand me the other phone. Let's do some research together. Da, 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 da. Let's take a walk back in time. Fall Branch, Tennessee. 134, Joe M. McCreary.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not going to drop any more bombs today. Anybody that wants to log off, we're just going to sit here and figure out why this graveyard is named the Wells Graveyard, because I haven't been able to find any real wells in the area. So I'd like to know. Not dropping bombs. Till tomorrow. Then I'll drop some more.
Your phone upgrade, your three dispatch network will be shutting down in the future. To avoid service interruption, upgrade today. Save $130 on retail price of Samsung Galaxy 32 5 gigabyte. That means you're going to shut my phone down if I don't. You want to take me on?
Pull it away.
Let's download PDF.
Well, they shut my phone down.
No, it ain't gonna shut the phone
To avoid service interruption. And you were just hanging if you feel like.
Oh, you got plenty on that.
I'm a hoe, I can't afford it.
Oh, my brain is tired today, guys. All right, like 1 minute, it should be up. Less than a minute. Shouldn't take that long.
You see your shutter that did the right thing. Well, it said cheddar cheese flavor, and they were sold out of just about all the cheese tubs. They had the cheese balls. They sold out everything.
Bert got anything before she left.
Well, I got the 4 bags.
Much less cheese balls.
$1 or something. It was cheaper. I got bored. I didn't have too many options. I got one of the food line ones that's salt and vinegar, and the other one. Are you off, Laura?
No. So, 60-year-old Billy Clarence Dishner up until 2009, from 2009 to 2021. Susan K. Dishner. Joe Freeman Moyer, Boggs. Washington County, U.S. Tennessee. 20, 2011. Sold for $100,000. It's worth $153,000 now. Billy Disher, Debbie Disher, Debbie Disher. In the 90s. Dishers. Well, why in the world would this be called Wales anything? It clearly says formerly known as the Wales Cemetery. If you want to get lost, that's a good one. True that. There's some free land up there if you know how to do it the right way. Yeah, vibes, you're right. He paid his $11,500 there for that land. I do got a question about that though. I would like the answer to. Like, did they ever actually pay Don that money, that $11,000? Because if he physically had that money, then it would have had to been returned the same week that Summer went missing, because that's when JD went missing from the land. What, wasn't it the day of or the day after? So that means he got his money back, or he got something in exchange, right? Because that's when he took off. So my question is, we know Don probably didn't have that money in the bank, so how did he either get the money or get rid of JD and get that deal taken care of? Because it's obvious he paid for it because it came up as sold. I just wondered, did the attorneys turn over the money before they were waiting for the deeds to come back, and then the deeds got kicked out? It's a good question to ask, though, if somebody would tell us the answer. As far as that lady with the two last names that is saying she heard the screams and all that, it doesn't help me to talk about her either way, because her information is not going to be useful in court just because of her background and stuff. I mean, her history, there's nothing, I can gain nothing from that, so it's not helpful to me, so therefore I can't do anything with that. Hey Mock, welcome. I don't see anything on here that is telling me why this is formerly known as the Wells Cemetery, but I know it's in another county. I don't know how far away this is, but I'm going to assume this is pretty far away from Don and them's, where they're at. Do what? Who? Huh? No, they're not. No, they're not. Well, that wasn't who sold it, Babs. Don sold it. Don sold the 2 acres. Don admitted he sold the 2 acres. It was his 2 acres. Well, he thought it's his 2 acres. It's 2 of his 11 acres. I mean, that's his ad that's on the internet for the 2 acres that's for sale that JD bought. It was his ad that was there for April too. Same thing happened with another sale. In May, it was his ad that's there, is still there for the house and the whole 11 acres. That's Don too. But Don wasn't real clear on that, where the land breaks and the neighbors across the streets land started either. But the whole thing, the deed's screwed up anyway, so he can't sell it. I mean, he doesn't even have finished paying for it. He wants to finish paying for it because he thinks then he can sell it and get out of here, but I don't think now he has a hope in getting out of here. But this was before this happened. It was June 7th when he made that sale to JD, but then when the deeds didn't go through, he had to return the money. Babs, I already have all that on the acres. I have everything about the sale. I have the realtor's information. I've talked to them. I have everything we can possibly get off of that 2.2 acres. What do you want to say about it? The sale between JD and Dawn. CJ Morlock Farms has been under for many years. If you go back and look it up, it was in business in the 1900s. And there's an interview where Don said he sold those 2 acres. I don't know if you got it or not. I can send it to you though. Don wants to distance himself only now because the deed kicked back and he has to return. Everything had to be reversed, but that was the third time it had to be reversed. He did it in April and he tried to do it with the house, and then he did it in June with JD. Oh, really? Candace Cora Bly hair. I never heard that one. I haven't seen anything like that. Cora. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know how many generations they've been using Candace Bly. So that could be a. Yeah, Jill. That interview, I have a copy of it where he said he sold the 2 acres too. I can send it to Vibes. But it was Don who sold that to JD. He just don't want to talk about it now because I think everybody knows why he didn't point the finger at JD. But that should have been his. If it was a normal thing in that deed, if everything would have been all right with that land, that should have been the first person he pointed a finger at. He'd have been like, yep, this bad land deal happened and the deed just happened to be mixed up, and I think that guy over there took my daughter. I mean, that would have been what we did because, we're all truly innocent, and we would have thought our deeds were just naturally screwed up. Somebody downtown did something because that's what they do. They screw shit up. But no, that's not this case. He knows his is messed up because he's a liar from Liarville. Let's go smoke while I'm smoking while I Google. But I'm done Googling that because I don't even understand what that has to do with anything because it's too far away. What does that have to do with anything? I'm not going to go all the way over here to Washington County. I don't have anything. I haven't lost anything in Washington County. I would like to see a document that calls Candace Cora Bly hair. That could be the great grandmother. Maybe Candace Hare's mother. I'd like to see that though.
Look at this
I
love
wouldn't be
thing.
surprised.
Question.
This love, where did I mess it up? My eyes are blurry now. Oh, does anyone know the rumor about Dawn Wells killing an old lady and throwing her body down a well? I heard that one time, but I don't know where it came from or who the old lady would be. I've often wondered though, is there somebody over there on that land that we don't know about? Yeah, I have wondered that. I did hear it one time. I heard that that's why they went over there and the divers ended up searching that water because somebody sent a email or something to investigators saying that Dawn had admitted to killing a lady and throwing her body either in that water or in a well, and that's why the divers had to go into that water. And I'm a diver, so that's the only reason I even remember that conversation or that rumor. But yeah, and I remember he got very mad about it, very upset. But I don't remember who the woman was or how that story came out, but I'd like to know. Me too. I am too. My nerves have been shot all day, so I am too. I'm asking myself in a million ways, what do I do next? Hmm. I do. Pass. I'm not passing to you. You don't have to type. You can tell me. You're right there. Yeah. Have you heard that too? You think Grandis is Candace Cora Hare? Huh. The only things I've ever seen is the Candace Bly and them use the same names.
Bob said how Well, how could DW sell it to me?
How could anybody sell it to DW when it ain't even DW's land? The 2.28 acres has never been zoned off from the original 11 acres either, Vibes. So it's all one big problem, first of all. The whole thing is one big problem. Nothing has been redone from that land, from the original 11 acres. Well, actually, it's not even the original 11 acres. The 11 acres is not even original. I mean, there's actually one deed says 9.2 acres. The original farm's like 200 and some acres with the homestead and all back there. And then the 11 acres that Don has that includes the Morlock farms on that deed is not legal either. So it would not matter which 2 acres he tried to sell. None of it. He can't sell any of it. Period. I mean, I'm a notary. Every register of deeds is going to kick back on any of these deeds. I mean, he should know. He should have known better than sell them. I mean, it's obvious he does now. Maybe he did not know when he tried to sell them, and he didn't know till he went to the church over this with Summer, and they said, "Hey, if somebody asks about the land, you better say your mom gave you that land when she passed away." I don't know. I don't know when they told him that you better lie about the land, but at some point, he knew he better lie about the land. I'm going to assume he knew in April that there was a problem. I mean, he sold it then, and the same thing happened. Yeah. If you want to, Jill, you want to go over that at 6? If you let me know right now, if any of you guys want to take a break now, jump back on at 6. I'll do just a video talking about that picture in the back seat, what I call the proof of life video. Y'all want to do that? We'll end this one today. I think we've pounded everything in the ground anyways about this. Yay, yay, yay. Yeah, it's all about that money. Sound good? Sound good? Okay, cool. I'm going to go eat some dinner, and I'll hop back on at 6, and we'll cover that picture of Summer, you guys. All right, love y'all. Y'all take care. Bye. See you at 6.